Well, I think when you see the news out of all the latest things associated with AI, everything has become AI, and I think the fatigue comes in is trying to navigate through all the noise. Um, I likened it to kind of being out on a hike and just wandering around and going around, but without any direction. You're gonna get tired pretty quickly unless you know where you're going. So our goal is to try to mitigate some of the noise and try to get down to some of the more relevant items that our partners and their customers will require now and moving forward as AI becomes much more pervasive in IT. I think identifying the right types of solutions that will meet the partner where they're at in their journey. And we'll speak about that shortly, but there are AI-enabled technologies that are just as powerful as AI-powered. And the difference is AI-enabled are just basically enhancing the efficiency and the productivity and essentially what the device or the application does, whereas AI-powered is something that's actually driving an AI discrete application or an outcome. So I think being able to look at the portfolio and meet where they're at, we can get them easily on ramps to understanding AI and then leading them up the journey, up the solution stack. Well, part of it was really providing a framework, which is what Destination AI is. So we've had a very successful enablement model called Practice Builder, and we've deployed this in many different instances, whether it be cloud, security, analytics, hybrid cloud. There's been many different iterations of it, but it's really the first thing is assessing where the partner's at, and then mapping in the technologies, the enablement, to help them first understand and then be able to deploy and sell. And what we've done is identified 3 tiers. One would be what we call an aware partner, which is really more of a foundational. They've got some cursory understanding of AI, but they've not made any investments, and they're really looking for ways of kind of doing of quick hits for quick ROI. And this is when you talk about something like a AI PC with an AI system like Copilot. These are technologies and items that are in need and likely be demand. It's again teaching them how to sell those solutions. The second level is an AI aware ready partner. So they've got some cursory understanding of the offerings. They've got some investment, and really it's about taking their clients and enhancing productivity with AI. So it's a little bit more customized, but still it leverages a lot of some foundational elements as we go up the stack. And this applies to data governance. It has to do with security, cloud optimization, even infrastructure optimization as you go up that stack. And then the expert, these are the ones that actually they're doing the most agentic AI. These are the guys who are doing the much more of the robust type of solutions that we then start to provide them those solutions. And the cool thing about it is that we have a product suite and a vendor suite that actually addresses all layers. So I think, Dwight, the deal is that it's not a one size fits all. It's finding the right size and the right things to help the partner. And even within each of the level, there are some discrete needs, because a cloud partner who's aware is going to be completely different than a security partner who's aware. And fortunately, we have solutions that will help them kind of, one, be able to have something in their portfolio, but also be able to sell. I think that's the core question about every technology that we're taking on board. This is an AI assistant, and just by the name itself, it's leveraging the intelligence within the suite of products by Microsoft, and the data that resides in your organization to be able to deliver and optimize an output faster rather than having to do all the search on their own. I mean, one of the cool things that I've seen is that I used to have to go do a lot of research to pull information. Just by requesting it, I can get all that information presented to me in roughly in seconds. So it's taken a lot of time off of the research and made me much more efficient. It also allows us to write better, more succinct output. So there are things like that that we're trying to employ in that regard. There is AI-enabled security. The other thing, Dwight, when you think about this, in the old days, I'm talking old days like almost a year ago or something, but it was prior to AI. The need for knowledge in security was quite extensive. There were very discrete security partners that built an extensive level of expertise because you required it. However, now with AI-enabled security, and I'm talking about things that will be leveraged for protecting against email and breaching and anti-phishing. The AI is built in, so the intelligence is built in. The all that is somewhat more automated, so that means a lot more partners can leverage this, and actually broadens the capability for more partners who may not have that depth of knowledge and security to start deploying security for their end customers. Because security is not a want, it's a need. So I think those rudimentary things, Dwight, is looking. This is where I think it's really neat when you think about AI pervasively. We can treat them as discrete products for sure, but it's when you start to look at them as collective. How is AI, when you start to enable various technologies together, how are they all interacting? Infrastructure, software, productivity, security, and it's that alignment that's going to be very key. Dwight, one of the things I found interesting is that one of the core areas of gaps that our partners have is around, well, just because of the sheer nature of all expertise moving to AI and security is basic networking. And then we found out that only 20% of our networks right now are AI enabled, which means there's a huge uplift. And so you're talking about something as rudimentary as networking that's treated as a commodity. Through AI and AI technologies, we'll now elevate that and actually come up with some very compelling value stack that we'll be able to offer them and let them reimagine. That's a cool word. Reimagine networking the way they hadn't seen in many, many years. In prior years, we had created very discrete practices in analytics, in security and cloud, because those technologies kind of dictated that you need to have specialization. Over time, technologies emerged where you had the need for security in cloud, you had analytics in cloud, and security for your data that now is becoming more pervasive and actually being distributed across organizations. Especially with what happened years ago with the shutdown, we were all remote. Well, all that data was residing elsewhere, so it required all that data to be secure. So inherently, what was happening, Dwight, was our partners were already heading that way. What AI has done is it's speeding that up even further. And I think that's what we're starting to see, making sure that they are enabled to take advantage of the opportunity through this whole digital transformation that's taking place. And digital transformation has been around for almost a decade, but it was relegated to the enterprise customers because they had the investment, they had the resources and the people to be able to do that. Well, as technologies have, like I said, have emerged, and AI really kind of democratizing AI when you think about it. The AI-enabled technologies allowing more partners to play in these different spaces, so it allows us to then cross-pollinate where need be. There may be times where partners need to have a specialized area of focus, but that's why we can provide them those capabilities either through our services or through our ecosystem of partners and joining them together. And Dwight, I wanted to mention something as well. I think a trend. There was a recent announcement this week from China regarding this their DeepSeek. I believe you probably heard about it, and it started to have a very adverse effect because I think there was lack of vision and insight of what this was going to do. They thought it was going to eradicate or reduce the amount of computing. I think it has and you saw it today where everything bounced back, Dwight. But when I think the really cool thing about that, if indeed they were able to achieve the efficiencies they did, well, that's going to do is that's going to lower the cost of return on investment. The ROI, it means it won't take as much to build your environment to activate a lot of this AI. So now more customers are going to be at play in that, which means then you actually just broaden the audience and the customer base to pursue and to be able to pursue AI and actually develop systems to support that. So I think it was a good thing. It's something that now we've got to be able to respond as a country and obviously as an industry. But I think it was a good thing all around. So I think the trend where we're seeing is we're going to start seeing more democratization of environments, a cross-pollination of technologies, all driven by AI. What they were saying is they were able to produce the same sort of models at a fraction of the cost, and all these data centers were being built out to be able to support all the anticipated proliferation of AI. And I think those data centers are still going to be able to do it. They're just going to be able to do more, with less. But I think what's more important, we never have enough compute power. Dwight, I've been in the industry for a long time, for 25 years, and I've never seen us ever get to a point saturated where there's too much compute. I just think it's going to be maybe in different levels and different sizes, but I think there is a need out there, and I don't think it changes anything really. Matter of fact, DeepSeek built their models on NVIDIA, albeit different types of processors, but it was still NVIDIA nonetheless. And also we don't really know the extent of what they use for their infrastructure because that's a lot of that's not we're not privy to that. But nevertheless, even if it was just a fraction more efficient, that's just saying that we're getting better at it, which means that more end customers are going to be able to participate, which means more partners can support.